Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.
Dead Poet Society desembarca en Guadalajara este próximo 11 de enero. Abriremos 2025 con el sonido de la agrupación que llega desde Boston, en Massachusetts, en la costa este de los Estados Unidos. Y para platicarnos los detalles de su trabajo más reciente, de su colaboración con The Warning y además de este show en Guadalajara, tenemos el enorme gusto de conectar en esta videollamada con Jack Underkofler, que es guitarrista, vocalista, miembro, fundador de Dead Poet Society. Hola, Jack.
Hola.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Where are you right now?
I'm in Virginia. I got in last night visiting my family for Christmas.
Cool. Enjoying the holidays over there.
Yeah, trying to.
Great. And you will start 2025 playing in Mexico.
Yeah. It'll be our first time back in 5 years.
It took you a long time, but in these 5 years, you released 2 albums. But the band start in 2013, correct?
Yeah.
What took you so long to from when you start playing and making your singles and EPs and then your full length album?
We wanted to wait till somebody was listening to release a full length.
Really? But
know?
you have a bunch of fans over the years when you start playing.
Right. But I think that like when we first started as a band, we thought like nobody knows who we are. And so why are we going to write an album for a year and a half and release it? Why not just put out music as we make it? And if we think it's good enough, let's put it out. And that way we can release a song every 2 months, 3 months. And so like the chance of people like actually hearing it goes way up because you're putting yourself out there, multiple times a year. And so we kept up that strategy. And I think that just, I don't know, it was like it felt like the right move. And I think it was the right move because it's an album is like a thing. It's like a category that we've created. We've created the idea that you need a group of songs and you don't really, it's just something that we've done as like, or the music industry has created the concept of an album, so you don't really need to. So I think if like you're a new band, I think it's way more important to just put out shit as much as possible.
Yes, now that you mentioned, I think it's very clever to start releasing songs or EPs when you feel it right, when you feel that's the song you want to share with your fans and with the world, and that's because you have something to say, right?
Yeah, if you got something to say, you don't have to pair with 8 other things.
Yes. But even so, you released Fission last year. That's a full-length album, your second full-length album. And it's not only a collection of songs. It's an album with a narrative. It's an album with a whole concept to say about what you want to start the conversation right now, who the band is in this moment. I mean, it's a whole concept in the album, Fission.
Fission, yeah, well, I think it's not necessarily like a concept as much as it is like a consistent theme throughout the album. I think everybody in the band was experiencing a lot of change in their lives and through, very specific, very impactful events, and that idea of fission, which is when atoms break apart and release a ton of energy, felt very appropriate to the situations we were going through. So they're very specific and they were at a very specific point in time, but it was a short duration, but they released a lot of energy in that time.
Absolutely, and also music is very powerful, right? It's the right way to express something you want to say with this energy.
Right.
And who you work with the album? You have a producer. Where did you record the album?
We recorded the album with a guy named Anton DeLost. So we had sort of 2 producers on it. At first, we had Benjamin Rice, and he did four or five of the songs, vocal production on it and the recording of it. And then we had Anton kind of finish off the whole album with us. And and we recorded it in an Airbnb in Highland Park, I think,
Oh,
for the most part. And then we
cool.
did drums in like a studio in North Hollywood somewhere.
You crossed the country to make the album.
Oh, no, no, no. We live in California. We've lived in
Ah,
California since 2016.
ah,
We
okay,
formed
okay.
in Boston, and once we
Ah.
graduated college, we just moved out there and then got stressed for like 6 years.
It's a very different the way of living in California than Massachusetts, right? So different.
It's very different. Yeah.
But how is for music? It's important for you to be in a state like California, where there are so many great bands, so many great places to play.
I think less important now. I think it was good for like meeting people, but like as far as like needing to stay there, I don't really know. I just if you have your fans and you have your connections and you have your team and whatnot, like you kind of live anywhere. You don't need to be like in like a in like an in crowd, you know.
Yes,
That's
and
not
that
what drives your career really. Go
yes,
ahead.
exactly. Yeah, it's a cool place, but it's not definitive for your career. And one thing you do a lot is play live, like, right? And that's part of the identity of the band. The shows, the concert that you gave makes everybody feel very happy and very powerful after you listen Dead Poet Society.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, we're a live band for sure. So if you want the full experience of the songs, you gotta come. You gotta show up.
Absolutely, and that's the best way to know in full a band, right? To listen live.
I think so. I think that like you can really feel the strong points and the weak points and the strong points of a song and a band are emphasized like 10 times as much when you see them live. You know, like if you see it, like sometimes you'll see a band that you love their songs and they just absolutely suck dick live. It's because it's there's an element missing there from either from the song. And I think that when you play things live, you really get to experience what those things are, and those elements that make it good and those elements that make it bad. And so um that's why playing live has always been like a really important thing for us.
And to have these tours and these gigs have an impact in the way you write, in the way you make music.
Playing live.
Yes, because there are some bands that don't like to combine to play live and to make an album, make a song. But for you, it's been like cross paths, right?
Not really. I think that as far as like, I don't think playing live really influences how we write. I think that playing live or just making sure that you can play the songs together is important for exposing, like I said, the weak points of a song. And like if you're not feeling it while you're playing it, then something's wrong. And when you
Yes.
play it, you'll know. And so I think that it's useful in like editing your music and saying like, oh, that part sucks, or this part goes on too long.
Yes.
But like I don't think that when you're in the studio, you're not thinking about the live show. When you're in the studio, you're thinking about how can I make this the coolest thing possible.
And the experience of live music, it's cathartic, right? Then you mentioned that you passed through some changes. The band have experienced different changes in these years. And to play live is cathartic, not only for the fans, but for the band, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's cathartic and it's addictive and I don't know, something what playing live just clicks with my brain. Like it's just really easy for me to like it feels like it makes sense. Like playing live, performing, putting on a show, just however my brain is wired, it just feels so natural in what it's supposed to be. And so I think that I continue to follow that because it's what makes sense to me.
Jack, the last single you make with the Dead Poet Society was a collaboration with The Warning, these girls from Monterrey. How you met them?
Um, well, we actually had like several connecting pieces between our bands. Our producer Anton is also their producer. And and we had found out, I think it was Paulina was like a huge fan of the band. And so there's always kind of been like a friendly sort of like, hey, kind of thing. And then when we found out that they were going to play Aftershock, I was my A&R was like, well, see if they want to like sing with you on stage. Like, I feel like that would be pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, it would be kind of cool. And so like I kept being like, message them, and I kept forgetting to message them. I would just be like, I'd be like driving, I'd be like, oh fuck, next gas station, I'm gonna message them because we were on tour at the time.
Yes.
And then I'd just forget, and I'd be like, fuck, and then I'd forget, and then like that just kept happening. And then it was like 24 hours before the show, and I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna do it right now. And so I messaged, I think it was Danny, but I can't really remember. And I was like, do one of you want to sing on stage with us for our song Hurt? And she messaged back and was like, Pauline is like so down, like let's do it. And I was like, sick. And so I messaged her and I just told her what we were gonna do. And then it led to this.
It's an amazing collaboration. And you work in distance or you play together in the studio?
No, they Anton worked with them on getting the track recorded, their vocals on the track. And so, yeah, we didn't hear it till like maybe 2 weeks before it came out.
Oh, but it's a cool story because you as a band also have music heroes, and it's important to have these kind of collaborations, right? To
Yeah.
can work together to get union with bands from other countries, and this kind of collaborations are very important for both artists and for the fans.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool.
Any chance you can play together in 2025, right? Maybe do a tour together. Some
Maybe.
gigs.
Maybe we'll see.
But
That'd be
in the
sweet.
meantime, you will play here in Guadalajara, January 11. You will start the year here in the city. It's the first time here in Guadalajara, or have you played before?
No, we've been to Guadalajara 2 or 3 times, I think.
Oh, cool. And how was your
Yeah.
experience visiting Guadalajara?
Uh, well, it was so long ago. Uh, but as I recall, it was a cool city. Would you say it's a cool city?
I would say that there's a
Sick.
cultural explosion over the past few years, so there's a lot
Oh,
of
sorry, I
places. No,
got
no
some shit
worries.
in my throat. What were you saying? There's an
Uh,
explosion?
yes, a cultural explosion, a lot of places, a lot of bands, a lot of gigs.
Oh,
Uh,
culture explosion. I thought
Cultural
you were talking
explosion.
about
No,
like an
no, no,
actual,
no.
like
No,
something blew
cultural
up.
explosion.
Oh, okay. Sick.
And I
That's
think it's
awesome.
important that it's very different kind of music and musicians playing live here in the city because you can find a metal, rock, regional show at the same time in the city. It was not usual. So I think the city can have this diversity that is important for a big city, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm
Uh,
excited.
you will have a blast when you come to Guadalajara, you know that.
Yeah, definitely.
And you will have a guest band or you play alone?
Do we have an opener? I can't remember. I think we have an opener. I can't remember if we have an opener. We'll figure it out.
But the important is that you will play here in Guadalajara, January 11th, Saturday night,
Mhm. And
starting
somebody
the.
will be opening, so make sure
Ah,
you come early.
get early, buy tickets in advance in C3 Stage. In all usual places, you can buy tickets from that venue. And looking forward to see you live here in Guadalajara and to listen live the songs from Fission and Heart, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, hope you can have a great time here in Guadalajara. Congratulations, Jack, on the album. Looking forward to see Dead Poet Society live here in our city.
Okay, thanks, man. I'll see you around.
Amazing, Jack. Thank you so much for the chat with Rutas Alternas.
Thank you.
Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.